and welcome to another Motivational Monday talk. I like to have Motivational Mondays where I discuss certain themes in my book that I've written, When the Fairy Tale Shatters. And in the practice at the moment, there is a lot of themes with regards to anger, aggression, and teenagers that are visiting me, where mothers are saying to me, they are angry, they are aggressive, they are being difficult. In the access bars, we actually have a point that we run behind the ear where we jokingly refer to it as the teenager bar. And if you run this bar long enough, they become less obnoxious for 9 days. So for those who are in the vicinity or in the area of the practice, bring your teenagers to us, we'll sort them out. But it's very important that we look at anger and aggression and our perspective on it, the way we see it. So what is anger? What is aggression? Emotion is energy in motion. So all emotions that we have, perceive, experience in our bodies are energy that is in motion. So it is energy moving through us that is triggered by a thought or a theme or an experience or something that's happening to us in our life. And unfortunately, we are all raised that getting angry or being an aggressive person is a bad thing. Emotions are not the culprits. Emotions are the way showers. Emotions are the informants. Emotions are the ones who indicate to us what is going on around us in our environment. So I like to talk about anger or aggression in a comical way, and I always refer to it in the practice that your clutch slips. So when you get triggered, your clutch slips. And when your clutch slips, you lose it. So you lose your temper and you react. And a trigger is something that you pull yourself. So a gun has a trigger. And if you look at a gun is harmless if it lies here next to me on the table. It is I who take the gun, who pick it up, and who pulls the trigger. So when we react to other people or to things, we are choosing to give a situation energy. And when we are angry or we become aggressive, that emotion is telling us and our body that we do not have a boundary and that something has to change. So when I have anger, my body is saying to me that I am not satisfied with a certain situation in my life. So it's no use to judge or hate the emotion. It's not going to be of any benefit or of any contribution, saying that your anger is a problem or your aggression is a problem. That is the behavioral pattern. But what is the core? What is the trigger of the anger? What is it that is making you angry? What is letting your clutch slip? So I'm going to use my professional perfectionism illness as an example. When I get to the practice in the morning, I'm a person who has to have a certain structure. If I don't have structure and I feel overwhelmed and everything is not in order, I become overwhelmed and then I get anxious and then I get angry. So I have learned to identify my triggers, but the root of my clutch slipping is the fact that I'm a control freak. I'm a control freak. I am a professional perfectionist who wants things done her way. And if I don't get my way, I get angry. So now we have to learn to do the inner work, to go within and to deconstruct our belief systems. So anger is just a blanket. The emotion is just a blanket that covers my inner skeleton, my inner wound, my inner core. So if everything doesn't go my way and I don't feel in control, I get angry. But why am I such a control freak? Because if everything is under control, I feel safe. So what is the root? Safety. What is safety? Why is it so important for me to feel safe? What can I do in my life to look at my inner wound or my root? Where in my youth or in my young days or in my childhood was my safety net, or was safety taken from me? And where has that trauma locked? So look how deep we've gone in just a few minutes. Judging my child because my child has anger, or judging a person because they've got aggressive behavior. But it actually, in actual fact, goes so deep that we have to go within and do the inner work to see what is the actual reason I'm behaving the way that I'm behaving. And that is why it's so important to belong to a supportive community. Have a place that you can go to where you are heard, facilitated and supported. Empower yourself and educate yourself with tools so that you know, what am I doing? Who can teach me to become aware of my feelings? How can I connect to my emotion? And how can I go within myself to heal the core, the root of what the emotion or my trigger is showing me? So a trigger is just showing you, it's just pushing a button within you that is actually asking to be healed. Now, that's the deep part of it. How do we release anger? How do we release aggression? How do we manage our lives with regards to anger, aggression? There's a lot of things we can do. A very good idea to get rid of anger or aggression is physical movement. Taking the pool noodle and slamming the water in the pool. Careful not to traumatize the dogs, the neighbors or the children, but literally hitting something like the water of the pool with a pool noodle has an amazing physical release of anger or aggression. So when you feel that frustration or anger or aggression coming into you in your body, that's the perfect time to go and to get it out. So the first thing that I teach my clients, especially my male clients and especially my teenagers and children get very frustrated and angry, is it's okay if that feeling locks in your body and you become aware of it and you are home, go get the pool noodle and go and hit the pool water. Besides the fact that it makes the most terrible noise, it releases that energy build-up in the body. Another way that we can do it is to have an area in the house where we can hang what is that called? A slaansak, a boxing bag. And you can go and imagine someone's face or a situation on that boxing bag. And if you feel the anger and the frustration rising up in you, give it gas. Give it everything you've got and get it out of your body. A lot of people exercise, a lot of people do running. I pray for them, feel sorry for them and wish them well on their exercise routine and journey. But a lot of people say the endorphins are very good to them. And then of course, if you're a lazy person like me and everything's just too much effort, just lie on the bed and let someone run your bars, so that the anger and the aggression can just exit stage left, through your left foot. But the more we are in awareness of our emotion, where it locks in the body, the physical way we can get it out, and then getting to the root of why am I having this anger or aggression, the easier we will be able to deal with it and to release it. Do not judge your anger. Don't judge it. Don't repress it. Don't put it in the corner. Don't hide it in the cupboard. Work with it. It's a messenger. It's telling you something needs to change. And anger is a very, very important emotion. And if you use your anger correctly, you can actually channel that anger into creative energy, and who knows, you might just write a book or create something magnificent in your life. So teach your children and empower yourself to channel your anger into positive things, and acknowledge your anger and work with your anger. Anger is your friend, not your enemy.